to BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Life Weekly with the Biz Chicks. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome on behalf of us Biz Chicks. We come in once a week and we talk about what's new in tech or things that we think will help you in your business from a technical point of view. So we're going to get this party started. We also want to let you know that we have a new program here at Biz Chicks called Hidden Revenue Recovery. And so if you're wondering what that QR code is up in your top of your screen, it's all about the opportunity to make an appointment to let us help you find more money in your business. So with that, let's get the party started. Fran, what you got for us today?
This week in tech history.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to talk about Cheryl Swanier. Okay. She's a computer scientist and educator. Dr. Cheryl A. Swanier is a computer science educator and advocate for broader participation in computing. Black Past notes that she teaches computer science at Claflin University
Yes, that's in South Carolina, I believe. Go ahead.
Okay. And has promoted computer science education through outreach efforts, including the ARTSI Alliance. She's a strong profile for this section because her work connects technical leadership with building the next generation of talent. Then James, we already have him, so I am going to let that go. Let's look at some tech making history. March 29th, 1989, Pixar wins the Academy Award for Tintoy. The first entirely computer animated work to win in the Best Animated Short Film category. And this matters because it helped prove that computer animation could become a serious creative and commercial force, not just a technical novelty. Now, that is interesting because there's always a question of copyright with AI.
Mm-hmm.
So Pixar, it's Tintoy, entirely computer generated.
Wow.
So if it was entirely computer generated, the people programming the computer are the authors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't that stand to reason that if you're using AI and you're giving AI the instructions to do a thing, that you would be still considered the author?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you came up with the idea, you came up with the concept. It's sort of like a patent, right? When you have a patent, if you improve on something and you turn it into a quote unquote different device, you still get credit for that, right? Because most inventions are built on other inventions. Most ideas are built on other ideas.
And that is why we are talking about this today. So March 30th, 1951, the Census Bureau receives UNIVACI, that is a computer. It's the first commercial computer to attract widespread public attention. The Computer History Museum notes that it could complete about 1,905 operations per second and stored data on magnetic tape, making it a major step in practical large-scale computing. Now, we are so far beyond that right now. But this was AI in the beginning. The Census Bureau, you had to calculate all them people, count them, find out, okay, that's a lot.
Wow.
March 31st, and that was 1951. They got a computer to do the work. Before that, you went door to door, and I guess you had to count them by hand.
I guess. Wow.
The forms after they asked you at the door to fill, because they were paying people at one time to go door to door and count how many people were in the house so that they knew, and then you had to take it back and somebody had to do them calculations.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you did.
Ooh. Now, if you knew the number of each household, AI can calculate, well, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and so there are this many people living here in this whole block. It can calculate that rather quick than having to do that by hand. Use the calculator is all I'm saying. Okay.
Wow.
March 31st, 1939, Harvard and IBM agreed to build the Mark I. They signed the agreement to build the Mark I, also known as the IBM Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator. The Computer History Museum notes that the machine weighed about 5 tons, contained more than 750,000 components, making a major moment in the move toward large-scale automatic computation. All right, I'm going to say this again. We don't need 5 tons for computation right now. You're muted.
No, we really don't. Truly.
5 tons of equipment with 750,000. So I know they got data centers running stuff, and where that information is stored. It's like the data center is like a huge library.
Okay.
Where the librarian, which could be, your AI of choice, goes out and goes to pull this from a source. It runs back like the books on the back of your shelf. Somebody is going back there to pull the book to tell you what you need to know without you having to get about the seat to go and go get off your chair, run to get the book, open the book, find out what it was. The system we have now, we have a artificial intelligence that runs and gets the book. It brings you back the information off the library shelf. Oh my gosh. It's much easier than it used to be. Okay. April 1st, 1976, Apple is founded. Apple Computer was formed by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak to sell their personal computer kits, later known as the Apple I. This day in tech history treats that moment as one clear starting point for the personal computer revolution.
Yes.
April 2nd, 1980, Microsoft announces the Z80 soft card. It's the first hardware. It's her first hardware product. A board that plugged into the Apple II and let it run CP/M software. Both This Day in Tech History and Computer History Museum note that it was a meaningful early Microsoft product because it bridged popular Apple hardware with a large CP/M software, CP per minute software base. Well, they were playing nice together in the beginning. Okay. April 3rd, 1973, the first cell phone call. Martin Cooper made the first cell phone call on a New York City street, and this is a milestone that helped launch the path to mobile communications as we know them. Okay. So let's talk about some emerging tools for small business. OpenAI doubles down on coding and business tools. And Reuters reported that OpenAI, now valued at $852 billion after raising $122 billion, is refocusing on codecs and tools for businesses. And they, like we talked about last week, they are cutting projects like Sora. For small business owners, this matters because it signals where the AI market sees real value, which is practical workflow tools and not scattered experiments. March 31st, 2006, Apple tests a more capable Siri. Reuters reported that Apple is testing a Siri feature that can handle multiple commands in a single query, with broader AI upgrades expected in 2026. The practical takeaway is voice assistants are moving closer to becoming more useful work tools instead of basic command utilities. Yes, I've always wanted to be able to talk to my digital device and have it do stuff, check emails, do this or whatever, not just a few things. So hopefully that is helping us do that. So some tech making history this week. Apple turns 50. Oh, okay. Both of you all are muted, but okay. Apple turned 50 this year.
Yeah, 50. Oh, 50.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
50, that is. Noting its role in making personal computers, smartphones, mobile apps, and the tightly integrated devices mainstream. This week is historically significant because one of the most influential consumer tech companies hit a major milestone. 50 years? Wow.
50 years.
My question with that is always, where else do they have to go? Not that they can't go anywhere else, but we look at what they've been doing with consumer electronics, etc., software. From 50 years ago till now, yes, there have been big changes, but year over year, it's like, look, the iPhone is now in a new color, and that's their change. So I'm wondering what their plans are. Not that they would reveal them, but I'm wondering what their plans are, what they intend to do, where they're going. Now, I know right now their big thing is really AI. Can you hear me, by the way? I just realized
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay. Because I just realized that my microphone was like far away and I'm just talking away. But if you hear me, I'm good. Yeah, so I'm just wondering what the next 50 is like.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. I was looking at a YouTube the other day, and it was talking about how they are working on these devices where you will not even need your computer, that it will be, and Apple's was shaped like a cube, and I think Google's was Samsung's was shaped like a ball. Remember those 8 balls that you used to shake and it gave you the answer? Well, this was shaped like that, and you would be able to give it voice commands, and then things would be hologrammed. Your answers would be so you wouldn't even need your computer.
Okay, I was about to say, if it involves a chip being implanted into your head, no thanks. But this is a separate device.
Yeah, I think and we got Brian Taylor here this morning. Hey, Brian, good to see you. And hey, Brian says, Jobs always presented ideas that you didn't know you needed. Now Apple is just trying to stay competitive. Have they lost their true innovative edge? I don't think so, because I think, like Terry said, there are some things coming out that we don't know that we need, to your point. And a lot of the devices are going away from the phone, and where you will be able to, like you said, just you can talk into the room or talk into the air. Okay, computer, make me a sandwich. We haven't got there yet, but we're on the way.
Well, and this is exactly the point. You were saying there are things that are coming down the pipeline that we don't know we need. Then do we need them?
Well, we didn't
Well,
think we needed a cell phone. I mean,
that iPhone, when it
depends on
came
who you
out,
are.
we didn't, yeah, we thought we still had to keep punching buttons on.
Well, so this is and I am the pro technology person here. I love tech, but I'm just playing the other side for a moment. So before the iPhone came out, before the interactive phones were for communication, right?
Yes.
Beyond and nothing beyond. I'm going to text you and it's going to take too long because I have to press 3 times to get the letter I want, or I can pick up the phone and call you. So now, you have the iPhone that came out. That was 2008?
2007.
2007. So yes, because I remember, because it was like the end of 2007. So we have the iPhone that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the proposed need crops up around the device. It's not necessarily that we need it, but they have the device, and then they design things around the device that we could need or could possibly need. So for example, a lot of the health apps and health tracking things, etc. Now it makes it convenient, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't get those things in other ways.
Correct. And this is what is happening now. We're going, because a lot of the AI tools are now integrating health into the, you can talk to Chat, Claude, Perplexity. I don't know if you can talk to Perplexity.
Your watch, your ring, things are tracking you, your phone.
Right. But what I meant was the AI so you can talk to Chat, Claude, and talk about what should I ask my doctor when I go into this appointment. You are now, you don't necessarily need to have a device to do. Well, you do need a device because you need to have some kind of way to talk to it. But they're looking for different ways so that you can be less device
dependent.
Yes. So like some
I was just pulling the word out the sky.
Yeah, because they're looking like there's a pen
Can I share this a little bit of this video? Okay. So let's see. Share my screen and go here. Because this is a little bit of the video about this cube thing. So let's see if it'll play.
And I need to know, who are these people?
Well, hold on. New gadgets. And play the video.
And
come on, people.
By 2026, AI agents could be handling 33% of your work decisions completely autonomously. Humanoid robots will be running assembly lines at BMW and Mercedes, and your smartphone, it might be replaced by a pair of glasses that look completely normal. This isn't speculation. These technologies are already being deployed right now. I've spent the last month diving into what's...
Hold on. I want to see if they get to this cube thing that I was talking about. Let's see. I was trying to get to it.
These are AI models trained exclusively on one industry: medicine, law, engineering, finance, and they're crushing general-purpose models in their fields. Gartner calls this out as one of the top strategic tech trends for 2026. Why? Because in specialized fields, accuracy matters more than breadth. A legal AI needs to understand case law, not how to write a recipe. Hospitals are already...
Okay, so let me stop sharing because this is not the one I was looking for. There was one that actually had the cube on it. And let me see if I can, because I wanted to go directly to that one.
So,
And when I
while
find it, we can continue. Go ahead, friend.
okay, so just to say that something else is coming, and we may not
Yeah.
know what that something is. They're trying to anticipate a need. Like people didn't know they needed a car. What's wrong with old, Rusty? We can put the hitch the wagon to Rusty and get to town, okay? But they didn't know that having a vehicle would get you there a little faster, but it had to grow, right? And be adopted.
Mm.
Okay, let's see. So Apple turned 50. Let's see. I don't want to do that. Meta expands its Ray-Ban smart glasses. Meta unveiled 2 new $499 Ray-Ban prescription smart glasses, with the U.S. release is set for April 14th. Meta is pushing AI wearables closer to mainstream consumer use, especially for people who already wear prescription glasses. Now, you could have gotten your AI, you could have put prescription in the regular $299 glasses. So, anyway. We talked about Apple pushing Siri close to AI assistant territory. Yes. And this is important because phones and tablets are being repositioned around more capable built-in AI, not just standalone apps. Okay, governments keep tightening rules around youth and social media. Reuters reported this week that Australia is intensifying enforcement of its under 16 social media ban. Greece is preparing a ban for children under 15, and China moved to ban addictive digital human services for children. China moved to ban addictive digital human services for children. Okay, and then here we go again. You bought the device for the kids, so why do they have
it? This is the thing, and I understand that these things are so far beyond what existed years and years ago. So you do have to have different levels of safeguards because these are things that are beyond them. But number one, parents had ultimate control over things. Didn't parents always say you can't sit in front of the TV all day and do X, Y, Z?
But you knew where the TV was.
Yes, exactly.
But you put the device in the kid's hand because they can't go buy no $500 phone on their own.
Right. I always had a job. $500 wouldn't have been a big deal nowadays. If I'm making $20 an hour at In-N-Out.
But you still had to have permission to. You still had to have some type of permission. The parent still has the ultimate oversight.
Okay. So you give a kid your phone because there was a shooting at the school across town, and you want them to have a way to communicate.
Yes.
I just think some things, there needs to be some corporate responsibility.
No, we're not.
Get in my car, it doesn't have airbags. Okay,
no, I'm not saying that there's not corporate responsibility. I'm saying they're talking about like the story TJ did earlier this week, where the girl was addicted. She said, I was addicted. She was at 6 years old. And she said she got addicted to social media and some other stuff, and they awarded her $3 million. I'm like, you're 6. Who put you
go back to school because my kids were addicted to Sesame Street?
Who plopped you down in front of a device and said, okay, watch this or whatever? She's 6. and now she's suing at 20 something because she said,
Yeah,
I'm
no problem with
addicted.
that.
I was like,
I have a problem with that.
You know what, the whole thing is, I do agree that this media in general can be addictive depending on what it is. So I do agree with that, but I do also agree with corporate responsibility for things when you see there's something that can be a harm or a danger, but your responsibility ends after you've given a warning and say these are the things that can happen. Then once you as the consumer have purchased it, like what you cannot do is buy coffee, make it at home, and then sue because you made it too hot. Well, they made coffee, so now I made it too hot, and now I'm suing. So there's a level of responsibility you as the individual need to take as well. So I see both ends of this 100%. It's a very nuanced argument here. There's responsibility to be had on both sides. But the thing I also want to say this is that these things also set precedent. Not all just precedent in terms of the way the courts look at these things, and this opens the door for future lawsuits of this type. And hopefully this also then makes the companies a little more aware of, we could open ourselves up to a lot of lawsuits. Although for some companies, they're that greedy in making that much money that's a drop in the bucket for them. So they would rather pay out for whatever the harm done than to actually solve the problem.
Pay people to go away. Yeah.
Yes. Pay people to go away and then not put in
much money. Yes. Now Brian has a comment here about the glasses.
yeah, he says those
Go ahead.
those glasses that were mentioned are something that his wife is trying to get for his oldest daughter who is visually impaired. They're already testing these things. Yes. And you can get the lenses. You can actually get the lenses. Now, I don't know if you're going to get the ones with the display in the lens, but you can get the other ones where the frames, just like the ones I have. I don't mind, are not prescription, but they do have, you can still have the audio and all of the features and talk to AI and all of that stuff is in it. I just don't have the one with the display where you can check your mail and stuff. I'm like, that's a distraction for me. I don't need nothing in my eye.
There you
And
go.
I don't know how that works with a prescription. You know what I mean? That would be.
But if you're impaired, it's not in your eye. You mean
no? The display shows up like a computer screen inside the glasses.
And it probably works a lot like, how when people have bifocals and there's a section in there that's a different.
Yeah, because my son has the ones that have the display, but his are not prescription. I think that they're gonna have to do something, because if you're already trying to account for the whatever situation is going on for your eyes, then you add a display on top of that. Seems to me a little much.
Well, and it's also the thing that people don't know how to act, and they've never known how to act, which is why we can't have nice things. So there will be a contingency of fools who will drive with those things and use the display. So I don't know what safeguards and measures are in place to ensure that if you are in a moving vehicle, like if you're driving, that it won't work.
Yeah, I think that should be a thing, because if we have the accelerometer in the phone, if you just have the phone in the car and you're sitting in a parking lot and not moving, and it says, are you driving? It knows you're in the car.
Yeah.
So I think that same technology should be in the glasses.
Yes, because over and over, you know what? The fact that humans had made it this far is amazing, because some of the things that we do it makes no absolute sense. So common sense says if you're you cannot that's why there's no such thing as multitasking. So people think, oh, I could do a whole, you can't. You can only focus on one thing at a time. This is why there are accidents when people are driving and like texting or driving and doing something else, because there's no true multitasking. You do one task and then you jump to the next. You're not doing them at the same time.
Like
right?
Tiger Woods said he was reaching for his phone or whatever. Okay, the other day. Yeah.
Tiger Woods.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother media thing.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Blessing. But I'm just saying the distractions, the things we do.
Could I go back really quickly to the point with not the television, but the
cubes?
No. What we were just saying about the corporate responsibility for these. Yeah. The other thing that it sets precedent in is showing two things. One, that you can sue for anything and you will be granted your wish. Right. And two, that you don't have to exhibit any level of responsibility. And this is more so for kids when they see those types of things. I keep thinking of, and it's slightly different, but it's the same spirit of people. I'm sure you've seen this on social media where people will, either book their plane tickets too late and they have 10 million kids, and then they'll get on the plane and the thought process is, oh, well, we all want to sit together, so we could just ask someone to move, and they'll probably do it for a child.
They do it all the time.
Right. And then people are like, well, no, because now, especially now, there's a price associated with upgrading to the seat that you want, right? Because they've even charged you for air now on airlines. So they're charging for everything. So if I have purchased a seat that I want, the fact that you either didn't get up in time to book or do whatever the case is not my problem, but you're making it everyone's problem, and it's unfair. So it's that same type of thing. And the children in this case, they're watching, they're like, well, we don't have to do what we're supposed to do, because when we get on the plane or get to where we're going to get, they'll let us do whatever we want. So you are creating lawlessness and people who don't have basic decency by doing all these things. So I wanted to add that.
Oh, good home training. Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So with that in mind, Dr. Tati, you're right. They're telling us nobody under 13 is supposed to be using stuff in the United States under 13, right? But if the kid circumvents that by getting Uncle Billy's birth date or whatever, and who is responsible now? Just like you said, and you put, like, the Surgeon General says this is bad for your health. The Surgeon General, well, whoever it is on social media, TikTok and TikTok was doing it. They're like, have you been on here? Shouldn't you take a break or something? Although they keep playing videos, it does tell you about taking a break. It tells you about, would you like to see something else? And I've seen it on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it like if I keep YouTube running, which I do, it's like, are you still watching this video, or those types of things, to kind of jar you back into reality. Like, look, this is still going. But at the end of the day, I'm still an adult that can decide if I want to sit and watch YouTube for 24 hours a day. That is my own that's my own business. You don't have anything to say about it. But then again, once you've warned me that this keeps going and I'm running up electricity or whatever, then it's on me to make the correction if I choose to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's your week in tech history.
All righty, Daddy. I got a couple of things. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them, but I wanted to share the fact that there are some interesting things going on. Let me share my screen. I want to say that right here that there are some stuff going on. Welcome to HBCU, early college prep high school. So a lot of these HBCUs are now allowing young people to come on their campuses and take courses. I know they've been doing this for a while, but now they're actually offering summer camp. And I wanted to stop sharing this and talk about the fact that they are having summer camp for these wonderful children, and here are like 6 of them that are offering they're offering programs. Morehouse has a variety of programs for elementary, middle, and high school students, as well as pre-college and college students. Because before it used to be, oh, it's the summer before you go to college and you can come on campus, et cetera, et cetera. And now it's more, I'm just excited that it's gotten down to even the elementary school level so the children can get interested soon. Here's Spelman, helping high school students become first-year college students, giving them a jump start. And then there is Prairie View, and they are offering several summer bridge programs for freshman students, as well as a variety of summer camps for students ages 17 and younger. I'm trying to put an emphasis on this and younger thing. So the school's youth, teen, and teen summer camps include a variety of STEM programs, college and career camps, sports camps, and pre-K through 8th grade camps. I mean, I think this is wonderful. Then there's Hampton in Virginia. They are offering 21 special programs during the summer. And that includes Hampton University Marine and Environmental Science Summer Bridge Program for high school students. Interesting. And then there's Fisk University is offering a variety of summer programs. These programs include pre-college prep, designed to bridge that gap of skills and knowledge between high school and college. The Talented 10th Leadership Development, a program to create hope and opportunities for young men of color to develop leadership roles across multiple industries and sectors. So that's just some of them, as well as North Carolina A&T, which offers a range of summer programs. And the thing I found interesting about North Carolina A&T is this line right here where it says summer sessions are also open to visiting and non-degree seeking students, including students from other schools who are home for the summer and want to take classes at North Carolina A&T. Elementary school students and high school can attend the university's summer camps, which offer the chance to explore future careers, discover hidden talents, and excel in academics. So I'm excited about this because of the level that it's gone down to. Let me stop sharing. Because I think that's a new opportunity. And so many times we wait until, the junior year, the senior year to try to get kids into these summer programs, when in fact they could have been going all along in elementary school. So I wanted to bring that to the table. And then, what was I going to say? Oh,
may I say something about that? If they were there at the colleges or looking at other things, they probably wouldn't be on their phones.
Because they'd be constantly in class. They'd be going
and not to say they wouldn't use their phones or whatever, even at the college, but their focus would be somewhere else, learning something else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So, and I just think I always think summer camp is a good way to make sure that young people are scheduled. And when you find a camp that's connected to a career focus or exploration or innovation, I really applaud that. If you can connect your kid with that. So I wanted to share that those opportunities are available. And then if we have time, I'm going to run this gamma real quick.
Yeah.
We got time for that? Okay,
Mhm.
so
Yeah. I just wanted to say I think that's excellent as well. This
Isn't
is without a doubt the best marketing that you could do. Any of the other pamphlets and things, that's all well and good. But the best way to advertise is to get students on your campus or virtually, however, and interacting. I think there's something to be said about that. Why do you think that A Different World and School Days had so many people going to HBCUs? It was the exposure through media, but then you take that and you have things like on campus programs. A lot of them, I think back in the day, may have had STEP programs, science and technology
they
enrichment
did?
programs. I was in STEP at the University of Buffalo when I was in high school, and it exposed you to science, technology, but also media because that's what I was interested in. And I did a whole telecommunications course there. So I think this is an excellent idea, and I can't wait to see even more enrollment at HBCUs because of this.
I just loved it. And I found out about it because my daughter sent me an Instagram of this young lady talking about they're creating historically Black girls university summer camp, and it's giving energy, but for Black girls 12 to 18 years old. And so then I said, okay, let me look this up. Let's see what's going on around the country. And I found that there were a multitude of programs going on for what they call early college, and but I didn't know it went down to age 12. And then and one of them said elementary school. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Well, I mean, because kids are very smart right now. I mean, they've always been smart, but I'm saying they want to learn more, and they're absorbing like a little sponge, and they want more information. So give them, instead of having them absorb whatever pops up on something that is not going to serve them, let them absorb something that can propel them forward. You know what I mean? Because in some cultures, the kid does not even get to see the TV.
And it puts them in a protected environment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they are not a minority. They are a group. They get to just be who they are on this campus because they are in the majority. So and that has a lot to do with how you learn. Who pays attention to you and who thinks you're important.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? And building relationships. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna share my screen and let's see if I can. Okay, Dokie Pinoki. I wanted to talk about how AI, just some real stories here, as far as what's really going on in the different worlds. AI is saving lives, and I'm hoping that we will be able to talk about that real quick. So, for instance, you go in, you're feeling fine, there's no signs, it's just a routine scan. But your doctor uses an AI tool, and that AI tool can see more than the human eye can. So then what happens? It's able, because it's trained on millions of cases, it diagnoses in seconds, and the earlier the treatment, the sooner you can move on with less intervention. So I thought this was phenomenal because the other day, my daughter went and had a mammogram. I mean, it was yesterday. She got the results. Okay. She told me the results this morning. I'm like, it used to be weeks before you get your results. Okay. So with AI, you have a super trained assistant for every doctor. These tools come from Google Health, IBM Watson Health, and they're trained on millions of medical images, comparing your scan to thousands of past cases in seconds. In cancer, early detection can mean the difference between life and death. It really can. So, how AI reads a medical scan: it collects data, trains on those scans, analyzes the images, and then it's able to flag and explain what's going on. So, unlike that big black box, modern explanations AI shows why it flags something. So, doctors can then focus, trust, and verify every result that they're getting from AI. Then I want to talk about another situation. For people who are blind or have low vision, AI is rewriting what's possible every single day. And we sort of touched on this earlier. There's a thing called seeing AI, where the world's described in real time. You may hold your phone up and you'll hear things like person in front of you smiling, you're holding a can of soup. Because if you're trying to shop, what soup? What soup is this? The exit door is on the left. Life-saving information. Also, the ability to navigate the planet safely, even if you have low vision or no vision. So let's talk about some of these AI-powered tools for the visually impaired. You got your smart glasses. AI reads the world aloud with text, faces, surroundings. It tells you in real time. Seeing AI app. Microsoft's free app turns any smartphone into a real-time audio assistant. Then you have Orcam My Eye, a clip-on device that whispers what it sees instantly, discreetly, and confidently. Would you trust AI with your health? Take a moment. Think about someone you love. Now imagine AI capturing something early enough to actually save them. So, what are we really getting with all of these new AI devices? Well, because it's technology with a heart. AI is not about replacing people. It's about giving people more life to live, giving a mother extra time, more birthdays, dinner parties, graduations, a patient's a fighting chance because it's caught early, and or a person's independence, being able to navigate with confidence on their own terms. So next time we talk about AI and think about AI, what are we really hearing? Don't think machines, think healing when you think about medicine. Think second chances, think hope. That's what the technology is really doing, and that is something worth paying attention to. So that's what I wanted to share today. And I hope you guys got something out of that.
Oh, I love it.
So
Always so thoughtful.
Whisper in their ear, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really putting the technology to beneficial use.
Nice.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to share.
All right, then I have TJ's stories if you all are ready.
Oh, we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Meta. Meta starts testing a premium subscription on Instagram. Meta has begun testing a premium subscription on Instagram in a few countries. The company confirmed to TechCrunch on Monday. The subscription, called Instagram Plus, gives subscribers access to exclusive features. Among the premium features on Instagram is the ability to view a story, a photo or video post that disappears after 24 hours without the poster knowing you viewed it. Okay. Subscribers can also see how many people have rewatched their own stories, Meta told TechCrunch in an email. Okay. That might be a category. Who asked for this? Subscribers will also be able to create unlimited audience lists for stories beyond a close friends list. This means users can customize who sees each story by grouping followers into different lists instead of only one, having the option to share with everyone or just one limited group. Additionally, subscribers can extend their story for an extra 24 hours and choose to spotlight a story for up to once per week, increasing its visibility by bringing it to the front of the stories tray for followers. While Meta didn't share in which countries it's testing the premium subscription, social media reports indicate that it's being tested in Mexico, Japan, and the Philippines. Pricing varies by country, but according to screenshots shared by users, it costs in Mexico $39 or approximately $2.20 US dollars per month in Mexico. Approximately $2 US dollars in Japan, and approximately $1.7 in the Philippines, the equivalent, because I don't know what their currency is. Meta says it's going to continue testing the Instagram premium subscription before rolling it out further. Okay. Is any of
coming to you soon? Okay.
I'm wanting to know if that is going to, is that something, who wants it?
Well, I think anyone's willing to pay for more exposure. It's sort of like advertising. And for $2-3, okay.
Was that an academic way of saying who asked for this?
Yeah. There's always someone who wants.
It's a story.
Followers.
It's not your post. It said it's a story.
But they're still pushing it out, right? They're giving you priority. They're allowing you to, and probably if you don't have a big list, you don't qualify anyway. They're not talking to certain people.
It says whoever paid will be able to create an unlimited audience list for stories beyond the close friends list. Okay, I am not a fan right at this point because it seems more clutter, more activity.
There's so much going on. It's just like, wow.
Okay.
Another opportunity for them to jam up the app. Because you got to put the buttons are going to move so they can get it in there.
I'm not anyway. TikTok. Cameo partners with TikTok to boost popularity.
Cameo is back. Go ahead.
Cameo launched a new TikTok integration that allows U.S. creators to offer personalized Cameo videos directly to their fans through the short form video app. The new partnership aims to help creators increase their earnings while simplifying the process for fans to request Cameo videos. Creators can now sign up to provide personalized messages within TikTok, making it easier for their followers to access this offering right alongside the content they're already engaging with. For those creators already on Cameo, this integration helps them reach a broader audience.
Mhm.
The integration is a smart move for Cameo as it capitalizes on the millions of creators on TikTok and their extensive fan bases. TikTokers represent one of the fastest growing segments on the platform, with popular TikTok stars like Ash Trevino, Alex Dougherty, and Smooth Pappy creating topping Cameo leaderboards.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If you
Moving
say so.
on.
Yeah.
11.
You know,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Well, really quickly, I think that could lead to a saturation of cameos that could lessen the impact of what a cameo does. Because the thing is, a lot of people will purchase cameos because they're like, hey, I want you to say happy birthday to my mother. And lots of celebrities on Cameo
Yes.
as well. So now you open it up to creators and influencers as well. And I think that's fine. But then again, this is a lot of content on there. But you know what? No problem. They're gentrifying our spaces, so no problem.
11 Labs. 11 Lab releases a new AI-powered music generation app. Voice AI company 11 Labs has released an iOS app called 11 Music that can be used to create music with AI and discover AI-generated music in order to compete with platforms like Suno and Udio. The company sees tools that use AI to create music and other mediums as a way to grow and protect itself from the eventual commoditization of AI audio models. 11 Music is currently free to use, and users can generate up to 7 songs per day using natural language prompts. Users can also adjust the length of the song if the song has lyrics and the writing style. Users
Now,
can discover songs created by others and remix them using text prompts. These remixes would also count toward their daily limit. The app has live stations, pre-created albums, and daily mixes with different moods such as focus, energy, relax, late night, cosmic, and chill. And just like other music streaming apps like Spotify and Music, there are top charts, trending now, and new releases section. The company is also offering a pro tier for $9.99 a month or $95.90 per year. The subscription will enable users to create up to 500 tracks every month, give storage space of over 500 gigabytes, and provide access to all kinds of styles and moods.
Now that's interesting. I find
Yeah,
that
it's
It is.
interesting. And so somebody just jumped into the music game.
Mm-hmm.
Now I use Suno. I might have to test this out to see. I like ease of use. I do not like complicated. I got to figure it out and try and figure stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to have
You
to
want it to
read.
be intuitive, yes.
Right. I don't need to renegotiate landmines and stuff because it needs to flow smooth.
Mhm.
And Suno right now is smooth for me, but I need to test it out.
All righty.
There's another one music generator, and I'm trying to remember the name of it now. It will come to me.
Okay.
It begins with an S as well. When I think of it, I'll let you know.
Okay. And that is Terry's story for the day.
All righty, righty. Well, then that means it's time for Dr. Tachi and all things media.
Yes, it is. Because now you have me thinking of this AI tools, and I don't know why I can't remember it, but it will come to me. Yeah. So I can just ask Dr. Vibe again because he's the one who recommended it. So, some things happening in media, tech, and media and tech and pop culture, actually. So I wanted to say thank you to Ivy Productions. I got an invite the other day for a listening experience or listening party for an artist. Josh, what is Josh's last name? I'll look it up. But he's an artist named Josh, and he does like kind of inspirational music in a sense, and it was awesome. So I happened to look in Indie Soup Media's the inbox for Instagram, and I saw this invitation. I was like, oh, okay. So it was done via StreamYard, and it was a listening experience. So they played the new single. He talked about, he was there to kind of talk about the inspiration, and we as people from the press got to ask questions of him. And so that was really cool. So thank you to Josh and to Ivy Productions for having me as a guest for the listening experience.
Nice.
Yeah. So I wanted to mention that. And now the news. So this is interesting. I wanted to start with this. What do you think of President Lemon?
I don't know.
Okay. If I said to you, President Don Lemon, what would you think?
I would think that's a stretch. That's a big stretch.
Well, it's April 3rd, so it's not April Fool's Day. So that means this is very real. Yes, according to Deadline, Don Lemon is maybe contemplating a run for president. He says,
come on.
He thinks he could run the country better than the person in charge now. Well, so could a flea.
You know what I mean? A kindergartner can do better than this, but it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we know 2028 will be here before we know it. We never thought it would happen, but we're already in 2026.
I know we're looking forward to
it. Exactly. We are very much looking forward to that. But so when asked about this, he was recently on the Pod Save America podcast, and I guess was asked about it, and he said recently that, quote, it could happen. He feels confident he could definitely run the country better, but he's also unsure about running as a Democrat. He said, quote, I've never said that a woman, all the deplorable things. Also, he said, but also I'm not a white man, and the rules are different for me. Just like the rules, I believe, sadly, are different for women. They're different for Hillary Clinton, for Nikki Haley. They're different for Kamala Harris. And white men get away with way more than women or Black people or any minority. He also said, do I think about it? Yes. Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen if the right opportunity presented itself. I think I could be president of the United States. I could definitely run this country better. As an independent, though, there would be a hard time for me running for anything because the way the system is set up, I'd have to choose a side. And so I probably would have to become a Democrat. Am I at that point now? No. I don't have the aspiration to become president, but I do think I could run this country better than him.
Well, I agree. Period.
So, other thoughts about President Lemon?
I don't know about that one. That's
there's a lot that goes on in that job that you may not see. And you got to be ready for all the little surprise things that could pop up.
All I have to say is I think the bathrooms will be safe in the White House.
Well,
Yes.
Since
I, I'm
we've attacked the Lincoln bathroom. Okay. And we probably
I'm just thinking for him going in, he needs to be mentally prepared for whatever that job comes with, because there's some stuff.
Well, and I have to agree. How the heck so ever was this same conversation had with a certain individual who's in the White House now? No.
No,
he didn't
I'm
even-
not. I was talking about for his own sanity. Because I think he could probably do very well. There's just some hidden landmines with
and
that whole.
and he pointed that out when he said, there are different standards for
Correct.
different groups. You know what I mean? So
I'm not even talking in defense of the person that's in office. I'm just saying we don't know all. I'm like, I don't know if I want that job.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know the thought processes that go on whenever anyone attempts to run for public office, especially the highest public office in the land. There are lots of things that you have to give up. There are I mean, even just as I remember Jasmine Crockett talking about the fact she had to close her law firm. She's an attorney and she had a law firm. So before you become a member of Congress, you have to give up certain things. Now, does everybody do it? We know good and well they don't. But if you are doing what you're supposed to do according to the rules, that's what happens. And so there are many things that you have to give up. There's time that you give up.
Personal freedoms,
definitely. Being in the public eye 24/7, you can't say hi without a news outlet picking it up. So we know there are lots of things that you have to give up. But there are some people who may think that they're ready for that charge. And he may not, even though this is a hypothetical, the fact that he opened his mouth to say something shows that it's a thought and shows that it's a thought process. Is it a good thought?
Bless him.
Yeah. So him making that, I would think I would start somewhere, maybe senator something, because you need to get your feet wet before you jump right over into that. I'm like, ooh, okay, can we start with city council?
Okay, mayor, something.
Just let's I'm not saying that he can't jump that high and go. I'm just saying you might want to see what it's like
before you try to leap tall buildings. Can we jump over a couple of condos?
And if it's to make a difference, and I think the thing that really made the difference here, and I think where this is coming from, is the fact that he was arrested for no reason. And it really probably opened his eyes to the possibilities of misuse of office. Even though the possibility was always there, now you see it in action. And the
misuse of power. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, really?
Yes. He sees the misuse of power. And I think that's an impetus for lots of people to say, you know what, I'm going to run. But honestly, we need you in the journalism space to continue to speak truth to power. But we also need you, if you decide that you want to run, there is more power in local and state elections than there are in the office of the presidency. The office of the presidency is just doing whatever they like, but that is not the way this system is set up. So if you really want to make a difference, you would actually look at, you live in New York, you would look at running in New York, running for your community board. I don't know which community board you're with, but running for that, doing things that would actually make a difference. That's my thought.
Locally.
Exactly. That's where the power is. That's where people will feel it, even though they think the president is the president of everything. Not really.
Help us.
So
I was going to say, this goes back to We don't teach government in school.
Yes, civics is completely gone. Completely gone. But
Yeah, so
again, it's by design. You
it's
can't
like,
do what you like when people don't know how the system works. But guess what, folks? That doesn't preclude you from going and looking up the way things are. One of the first things I did is if you go to the National Archives site, you can download a copy, a copy of the original Constitution, like for lack of a better word, a screenshot of it so that you have it. Now it's in very difficult to read cursive, but you have the original. And go ahead.
I was going to say, you can run that through the AI and let it put it and print it out for you. And
Yeah, well, but you don't even have to do that because you can get a copy of the Constitution. It's a book that you get, and I actually ordered it from the National Archives, and it has all the Constitution, the preamble, the articles, everything there, and it's not in cursive. So I have a copy of the original from the National Archives website, but I also ordered the book of the Constitution. So it has everything there. So I suggest that everyone order that. It's not expensive at all. And if you're going to, you have to have a leg to stand on. So please get a copy of the Constitution.
so what would happen if when we graduated from high school, we all get a copy?
That's excellent. That's also not going to happen because they're interested in keeping you as part of the machine.
Well, wait a minute now. When we teach U.S. history,
They don't teach it.
one of the chapters is all about government and the separation of powers and the articles and the voting.
That ain't being taught anymore. We think it is. They're not teaching that.
That's required at the 6th grade before you go to junior high school.
They're not teaching it. Who's checking that?
Well, the concern is you got local school boards that decide what the curriculum will be.
Right.
So
and so
have parts of the country where just like we have food deserts, we have constitutional information deserts.
right. And that's what I'm saying. The people, it's not being taught. So you have to arm yourself. And I say, you pass them out,
Yeah. Well, it's not enough to pass them out. I say it should be a required course before you graduate.
But they're not going to do that because they know
it would take what, 4 or 5 days to go over the information. It's not a lot.
No, but they're not doing it. We got it when we went to school, but
absolutely. And I taught it when I was teaching history.
Yes, okay. But they're not. It's not being taught anymore.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, and what is starting to happen is they are giving revisionist history. So they're rewriting what they think they want people to, especially here in the wretched state of Florida. They are very good for doing those things. So if you live in a state like Texas or Florida, or for that matter, any red state, and I don't want to make this political, but it's truth. You have to make sure that your students and your children know. So spend some time, even if you can't in your classroom, spend time on, for example, the Constitution, get copies of these things and give them to them. And then, take little by little so that they understand that. So maybe civics is not an entire course, but you can. And I think the reason they took it out was because, that can be engulfed into U.S. history. Well, the problem is it was a separate course for an entire reason. You can't cover everything you need to cover in one semester of U.S. history.
I like the idea of teach your children at home. What? You mean sit around and talk about at the dinner table or whatever and talk about this is this and this? The responsibility comes back to the parents?
Listen, my parents didn't have to do anything. because I was that child. I carried all my books every day. I would mess up so many book bags because I carried every book. Because my thing was like, nope, because somebody will steal them. So I need to carry all of my books every day. And a good time for me on Friday night, I was like, oh, let me see what's in this. I would sit there and read my history book and be fascinated. To me, that was fun. You have to, but you have to set up an environment that makes learning just fun. Like watching television. Now, I'm a television addict, don't get me wrong, but I loved doing that too. You have to get your children a library card, go with them, make history a thing, right? They've got history books even for children, like younger children, where they can understand what's happening.
Oh, so. You mean like the Conjunction Junction and all of the after school rock where they told us I'm just a bill on that whole yeah, it was fun.
Buy those for your children. It's probably not, I mean, if you still have a DVD player or whatever, buy the DVD set of Schoolhouse Rock. They have it on YouTube. It's on YouTube as well. Make a whole playlist so that they can watch it. Make that their educational time. The bottom line is, as we've been saying, the whole overarching theme of today's show is you are responsible for your children. That's it. And you're responsible for their learning, and you're responsible for your own learning.
So then what are we going to do? We're just going to jail all the parents. Then the kids end up in what, foster care?
No, we're not talking about
kids do wonderful things.
No, we're not talking about jailing them. We're talking about
wait a minute. Now they can jail you if your kid doesn't show up for school on a regular basis. They can
we're not. We're just talking about.
What happens to the taxpayers? Where are the taxpayers supposed to go?
We're not. We are not talking about that. We're just saying, give your kids the stuff at home. Start it at home. Schoolhouse Rock. Here, watch this. If you're going to sit them down in front of YouTube anyway, here, watch Schoolhouse Rock. Here, watch this. Get them excited about something else. We're not mandating and being, on governmental watch for it. We're just saying, give your kids something. Start them in the interest of something. Like I was interested in photography because my mom would take a lot of pictures. So just talk to them engage with them. And they're probably going to do okay because they're going to have a different interest than if you just didn't talk to them and just left them to the whatever's out there.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, and it's not about vilifying parents. It's about
and you want to know why the population is down? People like it's just a lot of work considering we have to work 2 jobs just to put food on the table.
It's a lot of work. The whole thing is like, so the thing is child rearing had come to the point of it's like when you buy a nice house, I'm working to live in this house. I don't ever see it. I'm not able to do anything with it. I'm just working to maintain, right? So that's what it's become. That's a whole other philosophical and social issue. But yeah, it's doable. And I have a vested interest because I don't have ne'er a child in the public school system, but my taxes go to pay for the public school system. And what I realize is apparently these are not enough to ensure things. So what I'm paying just augments what they're supposed to get. So parents, you have to do your job too. If I'm paying for them to be at school and it's not doing the entire job, I have a vested interest because I paid a little bit to their education. Please do what you're supposed to do too. That's all I have to say. So let's see. Off of that soapbox, President Lemon, let's talk a little bit about Amazon. So this is a tech and a media story. Well, more so tech, but I wanted to say this. So we already know that the conflict in Iran has raised gas prices significantly. And because of these transportation costs, Amazon now has a new 3.5% fuel surcharge if you're a seller and you use their distribution network. So it has the potential to really inflict significant new costs on many merchants that rely on Amazon to sell their products. So you should be listening if you are a seller on Amazon. So according to TechCrunch, Amazon told them that the surcharge would be in place for the foreseeable future, but they said they'll continue to evaluate a policy shift as market conditions evolve. Fun fact, market conditions are, even if they evolve, they're keeping that surcharge. This is just another way for them to grift. I'm telling you. Yep. So they say that now, but yeah, they're keeping that surcharge. It's not going back down. So this is what a spokesperson for Amazon said, quote, elevated costs in fuel and logistics have increased the cost of operating across the industry. We have absorbed let me be professional. We have absorbed these increases so far, but similar to other major carriers, when costs remain elevated, we implement temporary surcharges to partially cover or recover these costs. And the spokesperson added it was, quote, meaningfully lower than surcharges applied by other major carriers. Now, we're not talking about other carriers. We're talking about you. So stop with the whataboutism. Number two, you are nearly $1 trillion company. So are you telling me that with all of the money you make, even with shareholders, that you cannot absorb some of the costs with this? The reason Amazon exists in its current form is because of the sellers on there. Yes, they have their own as well, but really the sellers are what is keeping it afloat. So as a thank you to the sellers, knowing that times are going to be rough anyway, and people may be tighter with their pockets and pocketbooks, wouldn't it be nice, even if it wasn't maybe a lesser surcharge? You don't have to do anything, but a lesser surcharge. But thoughts?
Wow. I thought we were paying for free delivery. Maybe that's just on an individual basis, because they said what? Store owners, maybe if you're doing large deliveries, it's a 3%.
The sellers are going to pass that on to the customer.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. So it's, if you are a seller on Amazon, it's a 3.5% surcharge, right? However, all you have to do is look at, you brought in another aspect to this, Terralina, Prime. Prime members pay either monthly or yearly for free shipping, right? And you don't always get something shipped to you.
No.
There are some people that there are months where they're not shipping, doing anything with
And
that.
you haven't bought a thing.
You haven't bought a thing, but you're still paying whatever it is. And there are lots of people who pay.
I have a membership and I hardly use it.
See, I canceled mine on principle. but the point is, it was worth it to me because I ordered a lot of equipment, and the weight of ordering cameras and things like that, the shipping I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do this. But I don't always every month order something from Amazon. So I don't know.
You got some comments going on over here.
Oh, go ahead.
Fred's in the house. He says surcharge. Sir, we are charging you.
Exactly.
And then he said, hello, Fred. And then he says, Amazon, nickel and diamond folks got all the money. What about their EV vehicles? They could open their own gas station franchise. They deliver with EV vehicles. They're not using gas vehicles. And they have the nerve to start pushing the same /next day delivery.
Yes, exactly. It's like, okay, you pay for this. I'm not paying for this 2 days. The point of this is for it to get here tomorrow or today.
Right. And so and we are already paying for that with that $16.99 or whatever it is. And Fred says, I use it all the time, packages, live TV, movies. I started using the whole food delivery.
See, yeah, as part of that, I've also not done that. Go ahead.
So with 16, whatever it is, $14.99 a month plus taxes comes out to $16 and something. They are, yeah, I think that the surcharge may have come too quickly, because I do believe people have started raising their rates on the stuff that you're buying.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, one last story. I have other stories, but I think we need to respect the audience's time. And so, one last story. Well, let me just say that Coachella is next week.
Oh,
Yes. So, I'm always the Coachella boots on the ground, not literally, because I refuse to go to the middle of the desert and stand there and sway to the music with Gen Z. I'm not standing in the desert for that. I will watch it from the comfort of my home with my cool drink and my sparkling water. But yes, Coachella is coming next week, and the interesting thing is, so let me talk about that really quickly. We'll make this our story. So they're having 7 stages this year. They're live streaming simultaneously to 7 stages in both horizontal and vertical formats. The 4K resolution for the first time. The Coachella stage, Outdoor Theater, and Sahara will live stream in 4K. And they're bringing stations to Coachella. So in addition to the festival live stream, you'll have access to Coachella TV, which is a 24-hour interactive, uninterrupted music viewing experience that features both archival performances and 2026 festival highlights. Now, because I subscribe to the Coachella YouTube page, I've started seeing that already. And I'm like, wait, Coachella's not till next week. They've already started that. So you can start to watch old performances, etc. there. Also, a multi-view living room experience. So they said that according to YouTube, last year, half of Coachella's total live stream watch time came from the living room. And with multi-view, you don't have to choose between 2 sets. You can stream up to 4 stages at once on your TV and toggle between them with audio feeds or without. Also, they're doing a watch with, so watching Coachella with certain celebrities. So you will be able to see Valkyrae, who is from Cat's Eye. Also, Terry and Kanaya. I don't know who those are. I know Cat's Eye though. And then dive into Fuji K's with Daniel Wall. So it's the ultimate watch party. There's also a virtual merchandise store, so you can shop like you're at the festival. So why would I go and stand in the desert if I can do this? That is the now and the future. Hybrid experiences, where those people, it's not even about, I just don't want to go stand in the desert. There's some people who don't want to spend the money to do that or can't. But now, because of YouTube, I can. So that's your media news for the week.
Fred said, I think Good Times and That's My Mama marathon start during Coachella. I think I'll do the latter.
There you go. There you go. Oh, and they're also doing the premiere, or a special viewing, I should say, of the premiere episode of Euphoria at Coachella for season 3, I believe it is. So they've got some other activations going on as well.
I just think that it's a good idea, the hybrid situation, because like the last time I went to a concert, I was like, this is not fun because people are screaming and they're doing, I'm like, I want to hear the music. I didn't come to hear you scream. So
exactly.
I just want to enjoy the music. So now I can do this from my living room or wherever my TV is. This
Yeah,
is
and
good.
I really believe in the hybrid experience. I'm shouting out now. Well, I'm not shouting them out. I'm putting a call out there to Jazz in the Gardens. I don't know if you know about Jazz in the Gardens, but it is a huge music festival that happens in Miami at the Dolphin Stadium, whatever that stadium is named now, but it happens at Dolphin Stadium. And it started off as like really a jazz concert. So it's in Miami Gardens, which is why it's called Jazz in the Gardens. So it started off really as like jazz. So there's a little bit of jazz, but then usually the evening, this is where they have headliners like Jill Scott, etc.
Mhm.
So in fact, Jill Scott was there this year. The last time I went to Jazz in the Gardens, and I've been twice, they I haven't been in years though. They had Jill Scott was there, Kem was there. There were lots of different people. Imagine if you did a hybrid experience where people would pay for the hybrid ticket. I'm not even asking you to do it free, City of Miami Gardens. I'm asking you to do a hybrid experience with a paid ticket for the virtual experience, have the merch available virtually. What?
Yeah,
People, there are always those who would go. I'll never go to my Jazz in the Gardens again. I'll watch it.
yeah, I think that is great. And Fred says, I wonder if you can use VR goggles and feel like you are in the desert.
That is an excellent question. I have not seen anything about 360 or VR experiences attached to Coachella for virtual viewers. I don't know if there are any activations on the ground that allow for that type of thing, but I haven't heard anything like that yet. And then, also the thing is, it's already very expensive to produce Coachella, and to add another aspect may not be cost effective for them if you don't have enough share of people that have VR goggles that are going to use it. And lots of people don't have VR goggles. There are people that do, but I don't know.
Yeah. He said, I would do a live of Coachella in the Big Ball Movie Theater in Vegas.
But that's true. That's true. That's a good idea. Although Vegas is so close to Coachella.
Yeah, but I think YouTube has got a little corner on the market right there.
Oh, listen, they have a huge corner on the market because there's this one other thing. Let me really quickly tell you that YouTube has taken over, and they are now taking over with streaming stations. So I think we've talked about this before, but here's the thing. At some point, now these are FAST channels, which is free ad-supported television, right? Or free linear streaming channels, similar to things like Tubi, Pluto, Roku channel. And so YouTube is really getting into this as their importance on television sets have grown. So they've been testing these stations. They've got their own FAST stations. They've been testing around with 40 bands and musicians in recent weeks, and they're planning to make the feature widely available in the future. And I think I've seen some of these tests. So one of the early adopters is Bruno Mars. And so what he's doing currently is promoting his new album with a YouTube station. So it looks a lot like a live broadcast, and they've got audience chat. And some YouTubers have actually used the streaming feature to set up, similar feeds, things that we do, right? But YouTube is now giving you this, the opportunity to do this. And I'm so excited about this.
Okay.
Because soon, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to go finish your thought.
Oh, well, soon, I'm thinking they'll release this as a feature for creators to have. So you know why I'm excited about that.
Yes. Fred says YouTube is the market. And then Search for IQ has a question. Do you think AI is starting to trek into illegal territory when it starts to use AI prompts to protect its monetary gains over consumers' help without allowing for human review? Uh, Not sure.
Well, legality is relative, I think, in this day and age. And part of the thing is that we really haven't set up an infrastructure for legislation when it comes to technology, usually until it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually, ask question, act, don't act until it's absolutely necessary. We are reactive rather than proactive. So possibly something, possibly if it's hiding monetary gains, yes, if that's what you're talking about, it could traipse into illegal territory. But again, part of that is because their internet law is still hazy, not to
It
talk
is.
about AI. So you could have something there. It just remains to be seen whether or not they do something about it.
And further comment, I feel like we need infrastructure before rather than after, because AI is being misused at the cost of jobs or real health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and with that in mind, the infrastructure for the roads came after the car.
And that's why it's full of potholes.
Yeah. So because sometimes the technology or the advancement happens, and then, like Dr. Tachi said, we are reacting to it. We're doing the horse and buggy thing. So you got old Jim riding down you're in a wagon and all of that. And then now all of a sudden there's cars on the road. Roads had to be made for the cars because
But
the
I
dirt
think
trail wasn't
sorry,
working. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think the thing is we lack a futuristic mindset. We're not futurists. And because we tend not to be futurists because there's too much money being made in the present on the way we do things currently. So to
Mhm.
look ahead to what could happen could make whatever it is you're doing obsolete. And most people don't want that. So they will continue with their old fangled path and not evolve or not want to evolve. And that's part of the problem, and that's why we have the roads coming after this, right? You saw, listen, before there were tarred roads and infrastructure, there was horse and buggy, so there was no infrastructure, but people just kept ignoring it because there was too much money to be made by the wagon makers, right? So now you come to a point where you have to do these things, and it's all, I don't want to say too late, but it's not the way you would have wanted to have it. And that's because we lack a futuristic mindset. So to your point, Search for IQ, I get it. Absolutely.
And a comment, what is scary is some companies are promoting this knowingly, like Facebook, for instance, and are doing nothing.
I don't think the average person knows what to do.
Right.
If we're talking about the average person, but the companies, again, it's money. if it means that it's going to hurt my bottom line, it really takes an ethical, people first company to look at that and say, you know what, we're not going to do that because that's unethical, borderline illegal. It has repercussions for years to come. It takes a company that really is that self-aware. And I submit to you, most large companies are not that self-aware, especially most large corporations that are publicly traded.
Correct. Well, this has been an interesting Tech Life Weekly, and we want to thank everybody who's watched live and on the replay. And Fred, thank you for tuning in. And Search for IQ, thank you for tuning in. We will be here next week, and all of the Tech Divas should be in next week. Check out what we got going on Monday through Friday. There's always something for you to tune into so that we can help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And we will be back next week. I'm looking for buttons and pushing things. So thank you. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again. Enjoy your Easter weekend.
Cheers, all.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.